in the end zone. She invests to get tenfold. Her body tight, make you man, leave his wife. She a queen, but she ain't nice. She's so bad, she cold as ice. Yeah. Up all night on the grind, so aligned like you gotta be. Live my life, catching vibes, feeling light like you gotta be.
Up late night whipping, bullseye hitting, OT living, motif go kill it. Don't worry about much with the whole team. Winning bone in steak, yeah, get the protein in ya. Long way back, but I'll be home tonight. I'ma give it up when the moment is right. Might show you my heart tonight, because your aura is glowing in the golden light. Blast off with the star seed, yeah, knock you out your boss seat. Universe runs across me, come back, different dialects, speaking Farsi. You can see me pulling up in a two-seater with the bass leaking and some ball sneakers and a wife beater, 3 gold chains and an old beeper. Creepy crawl, creeping, dropping hot heaters. We beyond leaders when I'm balls deep in.
Up all night on the grind, so aligned like you gotta be. Live my life, catching vibes, feeling light like you gotta be.
I'm out, ladies, I'm out. Okay, I'm out.
Okay.
Let's roll.
Ready?
Yes. Everything's rolling?
Rolling, rolling, and rolling.
Check it out, yo. Okay.
That's going in the beginning for sure.
Welcome to Disciplined Stoners, the gateway drug to mindfulness. Look deeper.
We're here to grow.
Let's go.
And welcome back to another episode of Disciplined Stoners. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie,
and we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And today, we got my guy, who is a multifaceted musician. He's pulled so much quality out of me. You've for sure seen his work and heard his singing. He's from another land. We're gonna get into it. He came here on a special journey. I think there's an 11 number involved in it. Anyway, we'll get into it. Get your joints up for your new friend, my homie, KiiA!
Thank you guys so much for having me, man. And thanks for that introduction.
Bless, bro. You're such a star. I know I could have went down the resume of, you know, millions of streamed artists, all this good stuff, all this impact you made, but I'm figuring, like, just like from the heart, I'd rather stumble over your intro in a personable way.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Love, bro. But how are you? How you feeling?
I'm doing great, man. Feeling great. Great vibes with you guys, as always.
So when I just mentioned that there's like an 11 in your journey, can you just hit us with that right off the top?
So I moved to Toronto when I was 11 years old. I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
And also my life path number is 11. And the first band that I was in was called Empire 11.
How do you find a life path number?
It's like your...
Yeah, one of my friends has this. If you type it on Google, you find it.
Oh,
you
cool.
know?
I don't know if I have one. I've never done that.
numerics.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that after.
Find it. Let me know. I wouldn't be surprised if yours is 11 too. You know?
That'd be amazing. Yeah, or 22.
And then we met, and then you found a physical 11.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
Toronto.
I'm like, what? Your name is 11?
How long have you guys known each other for?
It was that party with Kareen, her birthday.
Yeah, Charisma Agency. So
Yes.
we met inadvertently because of Carl Wolf.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like one way or another, I knew her because of Carl, and then she was your publicist at the time as well, right?
We were talking about it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And then I went with Sasha.
Oh, word, yeah. Okay, so we were both. We were fair enough. She did good on our stuff. So we were both at the party in the capacity of potential. Like, yeah. And then also I met someone, thank you. I met someone else there, Savage Prince.
Oh, yeah.
That boxer.
Yeah, same time, right?
Yeah, same time, same party.
Birthday.
And we, like, amongst all the people that were there, thank you, Winnie, what did you do?
I actually, Ralph pulled something out, so I just adjusted mine.
Oh, that's better. It's much better. Thank you.
Great.
Anyway, so yeah, I think it's such a romantic story, our story,
Yeah.
as bros and as artists, because literally, where are we? Lavelle?
Yeah,
like
we
in
were
terms
Laval
of-
rooftop.
If you're not from Toronto, it's basically the bougie, nice, like Beverly Hills, like high end.
Like you have
experience.
to. There's definitely a dress code. There's like water features all around. The lighting is perfect. There's beautiful people everywhere. There's definitely music that you like might not fuck with, but like it keeps a vibe.
It's
going.
very smooth. It's very sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one. There's,
Sexy vibes.
also, there's not really like one star at Laval. It's all just like one vibe.
Yeah.
I feel. I don't
Keeps
feel
moving around.
separated from people.
Yeah.
At
So we
Laval.
were there, and it's like, you know, in the capacity of meeting people, it's always a pleasure. But sometimes it's a quick interaction, and you meet lots. I mean, I meet a lot of people, and
Yeah.
I pay a lot of respect to a lot of people, and I'd say I have a lot of acquaintances. And I'd say I probably have 90% acquaintances and 10% who kind of slip through the friend crack or even the collab crack to then become the friend crack. And I want to give you your flowers on your persistence. This man holds a high quality, high vision of quality. And I feel like when we met that night, we both like vibed out and it was a positive thing, but you kept showing up for sessions, bro, with me, and I'm a fucking nutcase. And this man has a big ability to, you know, to look past my sparkiness sometimes and stick to the vision. So you're a very strong manifester.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, bro, and you're a fucking joy to work with, and you're a beautiful, soulful songwriter.
Thank you so much, man.
How the fuck did this happen?
I think it's just like energy, you know. I'm big on energy and be connected right away. And I'm also really good at seeing the best in people and recognizing talent. And when I see like real raw talent, I feel it and I know it, you know.
Glad.
And you're such a talented guy, man.
Thanks, brother.
As much of a nutcase as you are, that's what it takes to be a great artist. Like, who else do you know that can like smoke a joint and just start freestyling like crazy? Any beat, anytime, with anything. Like, just be like, this coffee, this joint, that water, and that mic, and he'll go, you know?
Love
Like,
you, bro.
that is a next level talent, man. And it's I'm also grateful that we've been working together all these years and, you know, writing together, you know, it brings out the best of both of us, man.
So you
Thank
said
you so much.
you said you have an ability to see the best in people. Is
Yeah.
that something that's always been within you, or is it a skill that you've learned over time?
Yeah, I think it's always been.
Yeah?
You can forgive the immediate behavior and look past
Yeah.
and see or see a circumstance where this is raw and be like, oh, what if we refined it? Because like I love the way you challenge me as a writer, like, because I can just as you said, but you're like this tight time, and sometimes you let me help you with like the lyrics in your verse and stuff like that. And like when we refine, our work together has just like made me a better writer, like 300%.
Yeah, I'm like, less rap, more R&B, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate that. You always bring my like, yeah.
And he's not taking constructive criticism from everybody.
Yeah, that's actually true. I decided to open my very small door with KiiA. I think actually you're my newest this dimension time friend. I do have a deep belief that souls have kind of a reflection perhaps from another lifetime when you do feel a resonance, so perhaps we've seen each other in other forms. But it's like I don't often put people in that space just because I'm not sure of their clarity perhaps or something. I don't know, but when he's right, it's a very limited amount of space, and so I enjoy it.
Well, I honestly think it's the people who stay, because a lot of people can't put up with the nutcase. It's true, like it's just true, and you couldn't be a collaborator with everyone. Like that's just not possible either.
Yeah.
So it's great that people come and go, but when people stay, I think it gives this deeper connection.
His
that,
persistence.
you
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can. You're
So
like
why do you believe?
you're
Why do you
like
believe
I respect you. Can we just start? I wanted to talk about your career a little bit, and like if music was always the goal for you as a young person, and if not, when did you start to feel the itch, the calling?
Yeah, so I remember being very little, like I think maybe 4 years old. And people, you know how they ask little kids, you know, like,
Yeah.
what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, I want to be a singer.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
right away, so in my culture, you know, I come from Persian background.
Yes.
So in my culture,
Salam.
growing up, yes, thank you. Salam, salam. So pretty much growing up, like, it's not considered like a safe career. Like, they don't encourage you to do that where I come from.
Be
right?
doctor.
Yeah, it's like doctor, engineer, lawyer. Those are the ones that count. Like, everything else is like, oh, you need to do that. You can do it as a hobby. You know?
Totally, dude.
Yeah, but my dad, thankfully, introduced me to one of his friends who started teaching me sitar when I was 7 years old.
No
What?
way. Like
So-
that very cool guitar type string.
Yeah, it's like a smaller instrument, and it's a traditional instrument, so it's got this exotic sound.
It's so good.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful. And like back then, I really wanted to learn the guitar, and they gave me this, so I was kind of like, "What the hell, man?" But now I appreciate it because
Yeah.
it gave me like a different dimension, different layer of like classical, you know, Persian music.
Yes.
So yeah, and then I
So
started
that's where
learning
you get
guitar.
that unique timing from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember
there
we
you
talked
go.
about that? My man is up on
Yeah.
the 3.
There you go.
Sorry,
Exactly. There you go.
You got a guitar though.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no worries. So yeah, that's kind of where it started. And then so
Wow.
in high school, I just picked up the guitar, started jamming with one of my best friends. His name is Fashid. We're still friends to this day. And we formed a band called Empire 11. And then that's when it started manifesting and just coming into my life. And, you know, it was like Persian and English, so it was bilingual.
So cool.
Yeah. And so nobody was doing that at that time. So it was like a beautiful thing where it was very new. And we did that for a few years. And then I went solo in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a beautiful journey. And I think musical is more of a hard thing for me. You know, like that's how I express myself, express my emotions, you know, through writing, through recording and, you know, creating, right? So,
Yeah. That's so it was always just you just always knew.
So yeah,
the trajectory was
11.
towards.
Yeah. Having said that, I didn't have the courage to pursue that in like university, you know. As much as I wanted to take music, I ended up going into kinesiology and health science.
Okay.
By the promise, like I pretty much promised my parents that after that I'm gonna go become a chiropractor, so they think I'm a doctor and they can let me go.
Yeah.
But by the time I was finished kinesiology and like got my degree, I was like, I'm done with school. This is it. This is what I want to do. Like,
Oh,
you know, it took
good.
me that long because I realized I'm rhyming in all the classes. You know, I'm
Yeah.
writing songs, you know, and tuning out the class.
You know what? You can't deny it. And I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
like anything in the arts, I've come to realize is like there's just no choice. I think people will resonate with this if you're pursuing something and you think that there's an option. It's likely that you're going to choose that option down the road because this is like failure after failure. Like, I don't know what it is in the musical world. I'm sure it's similar, but for actors, there's actually like psychological studies on actors that's because they face so much more times rejection than like the average person, that it like is really has like a deep psychological effect on your psyche.
Yeah.
So true.
And so like the only people that are in creative arts, they're in it because they literally can't do anything else. They want to even sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
And
We
it's
think
like-
about it.
Yeah, you think about it, but it's just like,
Maybe I'll start a construction company.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, I probably won't though. I love the way that you have landed on the pursuit of your music though, because out here in the sea of independent artists, you know, there's a varying amount of how much time, resources, period, energy, time, money, effort, network leveraging, that people put into their business of music. Talk about the pursuit of music, like from a job to a career, and taking responsibility for that. You, since before I met you, you've always, I think, like went deep. I'd like to know like when that process, I feel like I'm just starting to think like that now. Like even after a couple singles with you, I just like really had a lot of energy. I just wanted to try a lot laterally, but it's like either you know your sound and you're working with it, so you're going deep, or but just the way you approach a track, like it's very like professional. Like it's like you are bringing your conservative influence from your Persian background a little bit to pursue that little bit of kind of, I don't want to know, I don't know if it's pressure, it might be, but like it carried over, and like you do like the really nice album art, and the like our first song that came out, it's not the first one we wrote, but the first song that came out of ours, Oneness, produced by
Farbod Ash,
who is a gangster,
who's like one of the #1 producers in Iran. Like I would say #1.
So you brought this beat over to my place, and we're just writing. You always come with a couple beats, and we're always writing. But when we lock on, usually I carry it out, and I do kind of the art assessment assets, and I boost it. But you come through with like the promotional campaign behind it, like the you're delegating a graphic designer. You got Sina, who shot our music video, Coco Chanel.
Oh, yeah.
You're bringing beats.
And
Oneness, yeah. And you're bringing beats from, I'm sorry, remind me his name again. You're bringing amazing beats from notable, amazing. Your approach is just so pro. And of course, you're so chill and wonderful as a guy, but your approach is so pro. When did that? Bro. Yeah, man. Thank you, and thanks for having me like on with it and to rock with it. When did you start showing up like that? How many years has it been showing up as a musician like that, or have you always been like that?
Yeah, I think since 2015. Like whenever I want to do a project, I'm a perfectionist, so I just would take my time until it's what it needs to be.
But you're a perfectionist that does release the shit.
Yes.
So there's a lot of perfectionists
here's
that
the thing.
don't.
I haven't released anything in almost a year.
I haven't seen you in a year, bro.
Because of that. You know what I'm saying? I have like 10 tracks on my computer that are bangers, you know, but
fuck, so
getting the right music video and the right having the right promotion strategy, you know. Nowadays it's the music business. It's no longer like, that's what people don't realize. People think you got a great song, boom, it's gonna blow up. But you know, there's so much that goes into that behind the scenes, you know, and how you plan it, being strategic with it.
We did a song, Women Life Freedom, that was played on TV in Iran, right?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That happened so organically, man. Cause at the time, like it was like Masa Amini, you know, like everything that was happening in Iran was crazy. So the whole world's attention was on Iran. Yeah. And we wrote this song because it came out of the heart, you know. Like I remember having that conversation with you because we already had Coco Chanel ready, but we weren't releasing it out of respect for this movement, you know.
Yeah, it would have been a poor taste for us to come with our
like
summer bods and like up late night whipping, OT living motif, go kill it, when it's like some serious shit's going on. So one, I really appreciate you bringing me into that.
I appreciate you picking up that vibe and like
I was there with it. That shit
doing that verse,
out of
like
me
that was
like,
impactful.
Thank
you.
You. No, I
still that's one of my favorite songs. Like people love that song.
Me too, man.
So we landed on pretty much the biggest television, you know, Manoto TV. It was like boom. The next day they just messaged me and they're like, "Are you available for a call?" And you know they booked the interview and boom, there was that.
Whoa!
And I love that, bro. Yeah. So sometimes it can be organic like that, and it can happen when there's a message behind it, and when they feel the truth behind it. And your verse was so awesome. You have a touch of rock in you.
A little bit,
You have a touch of rock, a small touch of rock, and I love that. And I think your voice went there on that track. I'll put it here, actually.
Ahadi, Ahadi, they say me gotta be free. A woman like freedom is what we saying. Gotta be free.
Woman life freedom, that's what we saying now. Woman life freedom, till they let them out. Woman life freedom, Every time I turn around, I see another fallen angel. Every time I turn around, I see another brother dead. I can take another day in this hell, fighting for freedom till the end. Battle my soul, battle should be
Woman life freedom, that's what we saying now. Woman life freedom, till they let them out. Woman life freedom,
And it got me yelling death to the dictator. Fuck that bitch, we gon' finger his picture. Thought I told you that I told about to get the curb out of here with those brutal fake officers. Medieval brutality, backwards mentality. The devil is casually wielding gavels and flattening futures with deadly cavalry. But with this new generation, we're breaking through and taking it back, reinstating women's freedom. Ain't that the truth? Led by a massive lineup of leaders, Massa and Nika started what was needed. Viciously beaten, but the vision's not deleted. Stand and we use it to lead the vision of what can be. Women, life, freedom is all we see until there's peace. And you're a 14-year-old girl with the life of a soldier. Time that it's over, but your life today will save millions tomorrow. But we need more awareness. It's important right now for us to hear this, and for you to know that the whole world stands beside you in spirit. So you know, you can feel it through the soul. What you were going through is the hardest place we've ever gone.
woman life freedom is what we saying now. And they got me chanting death to the dictator.
It's time for us as a global society to stand up for our brothers and sisters in Iran and be the
Sure, yeah, sounds great.
But yeah, and the cover art that like you chose for that, where they were figuring
it was like fuck this regime, you know. Time to get
regime.
out, time for freedom.
Big deal.
Yeah. So that's okay. So yeah.
So
you
I think because of that
yourself.
video, I probably can't go back anymore.
That's what
Just so you guys know.
honestly, I wanted to ask. Like, it's like that.
They could arrest me at the airport.
They'll fuck you up.
And especially because of that TV station. Like, that's a TV station that's like a no-no, you know, on their radar. So
Damn.
That's so gangster. We got him now. We got him now.
And that's the best. That's the best way that it could have been received. You know, like I'm so glad that people actually got to see it and connected with it. And at some point, we even got blocked. Like that's one of my videos that got blocked. Like it was picking up so much momentum, and it's almost like the government was trying to, you know,
like we need to.
Yeah, we need to shut this down.
Snipe that right there.
You know,
because art does empower people, and you can feel like when I showed that song to people, they're like, yeah, like you know, like a couple bars I had, because you were the way it happened is. I wasn't as tuned in the situation, although emotions heightened and very connected with the message of what was happening. There's history about what was going on, and KiiA was like plugging me into the situation as the beat was going. I'm like, oh yeah, motherfuckers. And I'm like, yeah, because this, and then we're gonna approach that with that. And so there was a lot of things that I think even beyond my actual knowledge, you were like informing me. It was like
we had like a 4-hour conversation about that song before we even started writing.
I do not take that lightly. Like the opportunity to make art like that, like that's it, man. I feel like we work for God when we do something like that.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's this other side to it that's like, yes, music is this even our favorites like Eminem, it's somewhat of a fabricated image, meaning it's consistent branding and approach, and the song can't fail in promotion. But there's this whole other side to music like that, and that ended up getting us on, getting you banned from Iran.
Pretty much.
And probably you too, I imagine.
I assume the white boy is not welcome as
No,
well.
they wouldn't care, you know. As long as you're not Persian, they don't care.
No, so fuck yeah. So there's this other side, right, of music writing that's like very heart. So it's like the head and the heart. And that was cool, man. That was cool. That was fun. And we have this other one coming up. I mean, we should really get like back to your story. I want to hear from like playing guitar and becoming there. But I just selfish plug our next song, Forgiveness.
Boom.
Dude,
that's a deep track, man. That's a beautiful song.
You played that melody.
Yeah. So I remember we were just vibing, and I'm just playing this melody, and you started singing this, what sounded like a hook or a verse. We didn't really know, but we're like, this sounds good. And we just kept going. And until my hands started hurting, you know?
And it was just, I'm like, keep going. He's like, okay. And
I'm like, hold on. Give me 10 seconds. And I like, reload, shake it out, boom, let's go again. And then for another 10 minutes.
And then we tracked it. And then the one bar that made both of our soul clitorises perk up was it is first thing out of my mouth, and you can see it because the freestyle was recorded.
Yeah.
And he just goes like boom, boom, and it's kind of this minor driven thing. I was like, I forgive you even though you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. And then like we just looked at each other like, that's a thing. That's a fuck. I almost feel like we received that together, you know? It's like the lyrics came out of my mouth, but the way that the melody influenced and everything, and for this message. So I really enjoy working with you because yes, we're gonna take care of the front of it. I will say the front of it, the album art, the video that has to go with the drop, the social media push and release, being on board for that. By any means necessary. You're a business owner as an artist. Act like it, right? You have to do a good front.
You have to nowadays.
At least a release. I don't know about the promotion because at this point I don't want to get anything fucking taken off Spotify again. I don't know what fucking playlist to trust.
Yeah.
They're all fucking bot associated. So I've stopped all fucking playlist submissions other than Spotify editorials. Which
that's it.
Might as well bend over and wait until the cows come home. But great, whatever. One day when Eminem retweets me, they'll suck my cock and I'll take it. But yeah, it's with you and I really enjoy this. I'd like to know if this is the process with all your songs. There's like this heart message like screaming at you from the center of the song. Like even Coco Chanel, it was a swaggy track, but it was like a very well refined vibe. Yeah. You tap into a core vibe. What's that process like, and when did that develop?
I think it starts with an idea, and then you just keep going deeper into it. The actual message, I think we've been pretty purposeful with our message, you know?
Yeah,
and yeah, especially Oneness, you know, that's a very deep track, and like it was right after COVID, so you know, it's been very timely, like the way we've been doing stuff. But the fun one was Coco Chanel, man. Coco Chanel is a vibe.
It's my favorite verse of mine.
Yes,
it's my favorite verse of mine.
Beautiful, man. It's one of my favorites too.
I love your verse.
You killed that one.
The video fucking rocks too.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And she stars in it.
Yeah, I had such a good day.
We
were
had a
talking
great
about
cast.
it before we started rolling. It's like one of my. It's in my memory of like fave memories. You know.
Okay,
it's in my bank of faves.
Can we talk about that day a little bit? Like how everything worked out, being picked up from the being at the Mercedes dealership.
Yes.
Can you tell about the day and when our perspective?
Oh man.
Late and how it all worked out.
Coco Chanel day. Well, when I picked up the Mercedes from Mercedes-Benz downtown Toronto, Ramin, you know, our boy. Yeah, shout out Ramin.
Fucking dude.
We picked up a classic convertible. Beautiful car, classic.
From the 90s, like perfect for a hip-hop video.
That just fit the vibe perfectly.
Blessed us.
And white Benz, you know? That's exactly what we wanted for the video. So we got that, we picked it up in the morning, drove with these two beautiful humans uptown to Richmond Hill, where my boy, Mo! From Meat Zone and now a Diplomat Exchange, you know, he's got like a money exchange business now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's killing it, man.
Mo.
So, yeah, we were fortunate to shoot in this backyard, beautiful pool, beautiful vibes, and we had Elnaz, you know, do the choreography and bring dancers and like a whole vibe.
To call that a backyard is like to call Holt Renfrew a bodega.
What would you call it?
Sex.
It was awesome.
A very nice space. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful spot, beautiful vibes, and everyone just came together, and it was just so natural, you know. We were all.
We had Elnez, we had Cosmic Queen, we had Tamina.
Yes.
Poppy was there shooting with us. He's on the song too.
Oh, we had the makeup artist.
The makeup girl.
Nicole.
And
she made me so
Max,
beautiful.
are we gonna leave Max?
Yeah, we had
this?
Max in there.
That's another thing.
We had Manos.
One of your closest
Paulina.
pals, Max.
Yeah.
I've known from like being around the Toronto city and being like a, what do we call it? Like artists that are in the space also of money, or in the space of nice restaurants. I don't know what to call it. In the Scotiabank private boxes.
In the sexy vibes, luxury vibes.
Yeah,
you know?
Whatever happened, whatever God blessed us with, I've always seen him around, and you guys are very close friends too. And he was in our video.
Yeah, man.
And Paulina.
He's a super talented artist. He was there. Paulina was there.
Shout out Max.
Manos. Manos was one of my favorite characters in that video.
With that money?
Yeah, Lorenzo Medici, you know, he pulls out the money.
Medici.
I love your verse on that.
Yeah, man, that was a really fun song. So we have a couple of new ones coming out very soon.
Yeah.
He's been very patient with me. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing this cool thing where it's like you brought a lot of beats from Heat producers, and now this Forgiveness one, you gave me the opportunity to produce it. I got it mixed by this awesome guy from India. I'm blanking on his name right now. But yeah, like you let me produce that, and then you brought one that you produced a beat, and then we tracked, and I left you with that. So it's kind of just like, it's this nice game. So Forgiveness comes out next month. So then it's like, yeah, that's perfect. Sometimes you gotta sit on shit for a minute.
Exactly.
So
let it cook.
So I like when Ellevan did the world record 365 songs in 365 days, pulled it off. But if you put all of those songs together, you might not see like a through line brand yet. Some, for sure, you could group, but all of them together, you might not see that through line. And over the last few years, I really think he's developed like this personal sound that you know, you put a bunch of songs on an album, and you know it's that artist throughout the entire album, even though the songs are different. How do you go about developing your own personal sound? Have you? And like what genre is that? What are you trying to put out there?
So I got some Electro Pop, RnB House, you know, and I try to bring exotic vibes. So that's my thing, and it's a natural thing because of maybe the classical training earlier. You know, maybe the sitar helped, you know, put those kind of melodies and notes, whatever, in my mind. So it's cool because it's like a Western, fully Western electronic vibe, but you got the Eastern flavor on it, you know. And
I love it. It's so important to connect the hemispheres of the earth through vibration.
Yes, and I think music is just such a beautiful international language, so I try to listen to songs that, you know, made it cross borders and, you know, have that have their own audience, but more like a global audience, you know. So someone from, you know, Turkey or like Greece, you know, would vibe with it too, as much as North America, you know. So I look for that sound. I try to seek out artists that sound like, you know, beautiful, world class to me, you know. And I was fortunate to come across some of the best artists in the world, you know. And I think because of my character, because I connect with people, you know, based on their soul, you know, based on their spirit, like I said, like I see their best in them. So I always have the best intentions. I maybe it's from coaching background too, you know, like I always try to find, you know, leave people better than I found them.
Yeah.
You know.
You do. You impact people in a positive way.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and I love to be able to do that. And I'm always getting that as well, right? Like with doing all these like seminars and Tony Robbins.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because you also have another, I mean, you're a, I said multifaceted musician, but also a multifaceted person and businessman, and how you allocate your time, and you and your partner even do stuff. But like, yeah, like, you want to talk about that a little bit? Or
well, I've been blessed to be part of the Tony Robbins community since 2013, and been like working with them since 2018. Like, it's been one of the biggest graces in my life, you know. Like something that just, I was always in love with him, and like his material. I mean, you know, since I was 15 years old, like my parents were going through a divorce, and you know, I just naturally gravitated to this book, Awaken the Giant Within. And nobody told me about Tony Robbins. I just saw the cover and like the title, and I picked it up.
Wow.
And that was my introduction to, you know, personal development, because I needed to heal myself, right?
At 15.
At 15, yeah.
Hello.
Man.
Come on, the self-awareness.
I went through a crazy phase, and then this really helped me get out of it. And then 2018, you know, they scouted me out to be part of the events, you know, security team.
That's sick.
They scouted you out?
And
That's
yeah,
so
man,
sweet.
it's just such a beautiful, precious community to be part of, and like seeing how much they're giving back, and you know the impact they have in the world. It's really inspiring. So every time I go to these events, I just like get a bunch of energy, and I'm like, you know what? Like we need to go fuck shit up.
Yes!
Can I swear on this show?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Fucking right you can. Fucking yes.
Yeah,
Let
let's
the
go
fuck shit
shit
up.
up. You know?
Tony swears a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. Okay, stop fucking lying to yourself, dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
Look, you're a bitch. Admit it, you're a bitch.
So that's amazing. Like in 2013, when you started with this community, it obviously was impacting you on a very personal level.
That's so cool. You
And then
manifested
5
this early.
years later, they sought you out to like work with them. That's just like such. You could never have guessed that.
That's
You
that's
could never
God
have
thing.
like thought that.
No,
You know?
that was just like, I call it divine intervention. You
Yeah.
know, like the way it happened was just beautiful. And I like, whenever I meditate, these are like some of the moments that I'm always grateful for, that I remind myself that there's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's not just you, you know, as long as you're doing the right things, like universe sometimes gives you like
Side
green
mission.
lights.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
green lights or doors that open, and then you just need to walk through.
Do you ever feel like you're like trying to force something or trying to control an aspect of your life instead of just sort of allowing that magic to flow in as divine timing as it happens?
I don't know, maybe.
But you're not aware of it. I feel like there's like a small part of me that's like micromanaging, and there's like this other part of me that's just like, please just let go. Just like
You gotta
just
trust,
release the
right?
grip.
Yeah, it's all about like just having full faith and trust, and the more you do that, the more you relax and you make better decisions, and you know, and
That's
you just
it.
enjoy the moment more. You know,
Yeah.
like just breathing into it, and you know,
Yeah, I had
slowing things down for yourself, like we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had a little bit of anxiety this morning and on the way here, and it's like it's really calmed down since we've started this conversation.
Yeah, thank you, KiiA.
Yeah.
Because I can't say this shit to her. Not laterally.
Bro.
Not
I
when
feel
you're
you.
together.
Relax, bro.
That's so good. So you have this awareness from a long time of like fortifying your mind, and then you literally attracted yourself like right next to Tony and like with the team.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's crazy. I guess
How do you trust like that? When did you learn that things would work out, or did you?
Yeah.
Or why do you have that base of faith?
what do you mean by that?
Was it religion? Was it this book? Was it things working out and you observing it? Like, why can you trust? Because when you're saying like has anxiety, like a lot of people like get anxiety about things. Like you're saying like, yeah, you just gotta trust it. And I literally put that in a song coming out like tomorrow. It's like, you ain't gotta know how it works, just trust it. God got your back. You gonna make it through the rough shit. And it's
Nice.
good to like know
I love
that.
that.
Thank you. And like we hear that, we preach that, we know that, but sometimes when someone is in the middle of the shitstorm of their mind, they can't just sink into it that easy because it's actually vibrational. It's the feeling. So people have perpetual patterns about their feeling, and to be honest, I think most people just want drama in their life because it's consciousness naturally getting a texture that is easily accessible. So you're in patterns of making things dramatic and stressful on yourself and thinking you need to go through pain to earn something. And you have to unlearn those patterns and stop separating yourself from the goal and allow it to flow into your life effortlessly. So, like, why do you know that?
It's just the inner knowing. It's like spirit level, you know?
So you just trust it?
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause like I'm saying, because of this grace that I've received in my life, like I've already seen proof, you know? So, you know, I just trusted moving forward, because if you look backwards, you'll see like how you were guided, you know?
Yeah.
So you're observing. You're just observing an awareness. So that's the
Yes.
thing. When people want to go, I don't want to feel anxiety, I just want to get into that vibrational state. You haven't had the awareness that you have the choice to trust for long enough yet. That's what it is. You proved it to yourself recently, whereas KiiA seemed to have been listening to the pulse of God since a longer time, and it's just like anything, showing up to the gym, the muscle has to develop, and you're just basically a younger spirit in that muscle. Cool.
Well said, man. Well said.
Thank you.
Are there, do you want to add more to that?
I was just gonna say, it's like I heard this thing last week when I was in San Diego, that our spirit is having an internship in our body on Earth. I was like, that's such a cool fucking sentence, like, you know.
So true.
Because I believe, Earth is a school for spirits. Yeah, you come and you're like, oh, and then you learn, and I believe you have contracts with people, and spirit contracts, and karma balance, and dharma balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and if you look back, you probably handle your anxiety like way better than
much
you did
better
before, right?
Oh my goodness.
Like as you keep working on yourself, it's just less and less, and you start managing it better too, even when it gets out of hand.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge and recognize in that moment that you are doing 10, 20 times better than what you would have, this 10 years ago, like I would have canceled this. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have been like, it's too much. I cannot, I physically, literally cannot handle it.
Wow.
And then with meditation, honestly, that's meditation and weed. Seriously, I was like, I became way more aware of the emotional state. This new book that we're reading, 2x versus 10x, talks.
10x is easier than 2x?
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, this new book that we're reading. It talks about seeing your emotions as a context rather than the content. And I like that. That's super helpful, just to remember that it's like wavering. It's not real. It's literally not real. You felt different before, and you're going to feel different after. This feeling that you're feeling in the present moment, if you stop giving it attention, it's literally like taking sugar from a bacteria. Do you know what I mean? Like it will, or a parasite, it will die eventually if it doesn't have anything to eat.
That's right.
But it's an interesting process though, because that means that these sensations that you were like, no, I don't want to feel you at all, and I'm paralyzed when I do, those sensations still bubble up. So then you're like, okay, I'm I'm in a bit of a when the giraffe gets its legs at first, and it's like, oh fuck, this is like, I'm a little bit in that with my emotions right now. Where I'm like, okay, I understand that I don't need to react right now. I can still move through life, but I'm still feeling this. It's like you're doing both simultaneously, but that's way better than being paralyzed and stopping the experience of life.
Yeah, it's very true. It's like you let it kind of pass through you, and you're more observant and just less reactive to things,
Yeah. Well, that kind of leans into what I wanted to ask next, which is, since you've spent all this time with Tony Robbins and the community and the team, is there like an ethos that the community lives by? Is there like a few very simple sort of takeaways that you work with in your daily life?
Yeah, it's called the triad. So physiology, focus, pretty much being aligned,
So your
and being in integrity,
body, mind,
so body
and spirit.
First, body, mind, and spirit, pretty much,
Yeah.
And he talks about physiology. Like if you have bad posture, you're more prone to feel anxiety and depression and different things. Like just by fixing that,
dude.
Your diaphragm,
that's true
now
for me. This has always been a thing.
And people are like, oh, fuck that, I'm upset. Well, change it. Change your physiology, and you change your state, right?
And people don't want to take responsibility for that, or they want to feel like they're being attacked or something. And it's like, you have control, I think, over and over, whether it be mentally, physically, and spirit is either immediate or last. It depends on your attitude and vibration. But that is such a gem, and that's going to be a clip, because it's like, take responsibility for how you're sitting. And also, I like to outsmart the bitch in my head, and I don't always get out ahead of it, but sometimes I do. Like if I'm gonna have feelings after the day I have a lot of sugar or an extra amount of meat or I drink alcohol or something where it's like, of course you fucking idiot, like your body is gonna like you're getting a rush, and then it's like it's basically a drug. Like a lot of sugar is a drug, and like the next day you're gonna have like a hangover or something, or you're gonna have just like when you drink alcohol. So you can talk to your inner bitch that's like I'm so upset right now, and you're just like, of course, because remember.
But the great point about that though, like, is that there's a dialogue going on, because sometimes you know, you'll just let the one perspective just steamroll. And that's it. That's all you got.
You let the bitch win.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, it doesn't have to be as harsh as that.
Oh,
it's
sorry,
just
that's Joe Rogan says that.
Communication. Oh.
I took that from Joe Rogan.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like it's like your inner bitch, tell your inner bitch to shut up. Because we all have it. Like that. And I don't mean woman. I mean that little, like, weak part. Yeah, you look so fucking cool.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, man. So you just managed to stay in a good vibration. Like, do you work out every day?
Not every day, but like 5 days a week, and I do some sort of activity every day, no matter what. Like,
you move your body.
I just have a lot of energy, man. I need to get it out somehow.
And you know that.
Yeah.
And you know that, and you work with that, because there's so much. No matter what, like, the fitness level of the person is, it's always like there's still that like squirrely energy in all of us. When you wake up, it's a life force, and it's like you got to do something with it, and
you can channel it in different ways, you know.
Channel it.
And you know, I'd like to channel it as much as I can to activities that are like good for me and my future, and you know, feel good. So it takes discipline over time, right? Because you don't always feel like going to the gym, you know, or you don't always feel like going for a run. But once you do it, you feel better.
Totally.
Right?
I added a weekly, like once a week, I just felt like I needed to start strength training. So I was like, I'm gonna commit to once a week, because that makes sense in my brain. Like if I try to do 5 days a week right off the bat, I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? And it's been going well. Most weeks we get twice a week, even though once a week is just the goal. But yesterday I didn't want to do it. I so didn't want to do it.
Yeah, she's
and I hoped Ellevan wouldn't bring it up. And I was like, I'm going to go take a shower. And he's like, are we going to hit the weight room? And I was like, no. And then he was like, well, I still probably am. So, and I was like, fine, but I'm getting my outfit on right now. And I literally walked to the bedroom, got changed, got my shoes on. I stormed out.
Nice.
I had to. There was no other way. There was no other way that it was going to happen. But after I did it, I was like, this was awesome. Thank you.
That's awesome.
She ran at it.
And that's what it takes, you know?
I felt abandoned, but I also cheered her on. I was like, I inspired us to go. And then I was like, I'm not fucking moving. That's a new thing I found in my inner peace, which maybe moving away from being a tortured artist soul and more into your beautiful center of peace. You're probably part of that influence, bro. Thanks for being in my life.
Thank you, man.
But a part of my new peace and power is finding my groundedness and what I want to do, and not feeling guilty for that. Because I had this like bad kid syndrome, because like being like told I was bad in school all the time, just because like I didn't fit the like level of conformity that was required. So I always like owned the villain and felt bad. And Winnie's very like responsible. Like in our life, she's the grounded. I'm like a rock star that's like, but that comet fades out. And when that comet needs to crash, you better have a couch to crash on. And so Winnie's very conservative, so a lot of the times in life it's like whatever Winnie says is probably the right choice, and I feel guilty for like not being ready or going against that or something. It's like she's the leader, actually. I'm the loudmouth instigator leader, but she's the real like, are we doing this for real? Like, so in moments like that, when he's like, fine, okay, but I gotta go right now, me hearing her humanness take over and allowing her the space to go on her own path, and then me still being like, yeah, but I want to put this lamb roast in and smoke a joint and like have a pre-workout and like maybe bounce this master. And so I took my like 25 minutes that I needed to like feel good about myself. And then when I went to the gym, she was wrapping up. and I was going in, but it was like great that like whatever I said inspired her to show up and go there. And I do want to give you your flowers for that win, that you were just like, it was basically like a kid going, I don't want to do my homework. And she's like walking up to her room with her book bag, and she sits down and relentlessly does her homework. But when I got to the gym,
sweat.
The bitch has left. Like you're as to KiiA's point, like you feel so much better after.
For sure. Yeah. Weightlifting is becoming interesting to me. It used to just be this like such boring thing. Just like, oh my god.
How is it
and
boring
only
with
for
results
like
this?
Douchebags, right?
Yeah.
Back then it was just like Arnold-sized people on tons of steroids, right?
Yeah.
But
and I can feel myself getting stronger. Yesterday was the first time I added weight since we've started working together, working out together, which was cool. I was like,
She's on bench press.
I've gotten stronger. And I can see it. I can actually like, and it hasn't been very long. It's pretty wild.
You have a good frame to see progress too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KiiA, you work.
You're pretty active. Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll fit one out.
Alternate, I know. You're with the Disponstone now, baby. Well, you definitely are Disponstone.
Also, you have a partner, and you guys work together.
Yeah.
How I know from working with Ellevan that sometimes shit gets a little crazy.
You get on each other's nerves sometimes.
Sometimes.
How do you mitigate that?
It's possible, man. You know, and I think it's because, like, there's your relationship, and then there's work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And it's a skill to be able to separate the two. You know.
And then there's life.
Yeah.
Just like their family, your family, like just things that you have to do. Your job, your gigs, your clients, your...
Yeah. So your emotional, your intimate relationship is just a different story that takes work over time, you know, and people don't want to hear that, you know. But it actually does. Like, because think about, like, you still getting to know yourself, right? Like, you still fucking do things that you're like, fuck, I never thought I'd do that. You know,
it's true.
But you learn and you grow, so it's just giving each other the grace to do that too. And in the work environment, sometimes like our expectations are high. I know, like, you know.
Oh, I'm a dick.
Yeah, so we're all like, we got standards, and like this is what needs to happen. But then it's how you communicate that, right? Like, it's different if you're like,
I'm getting better, thanks to both of you.
That's
You're welcome. We're your greatest teachers.
Yes.
We're all each other's guides. I appreciate you.
That's it, man. We're just souls elevating together.
Yeah, that's it. Cheers.
Boom.
So would you have any advice? Because I know there's a lot of couples out there that are looking to work together and create businesses together.
And you guys are
awesome.
both badasses. Like, you both have like great communities of people that you've built. Like, it shows in what you've built, and it's great.
Thanks, man.
And you're both in the public eye as well. And there's like always the question of like jealousy. You know, like that's been we've gone through bouts of jealousy on the podcast. We have one titled Jealousy. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Whoa, damn, I gotta go check that one out.
Yeah, we started to get really vulnerable on the podcast at one point. We were like, well,
people actually really like to hear that side.
Because most people don't want to talk about it, you know?
It's icky.
You almost don't want to admit to yourself, you know?
There's shame.
That you're jealous. Yeah, there's shame around it, right?
Especially when you hold pride, and especially when you think about, like, what am I positioning myself in my head? Like, why am I so...
And like, the craziest thing is if you showed up and you were like, I just want you to love me instead of anyone else, you know, like if you were just like vulnerable and honest with your partner instead of being like, hey, stop fucking doing that. Like when you're not doing anything, you're like just having a regular conversation and you're like, well, don't, you know?
Yeah. Fuck. So, yeah, you guys work together. Does that ever get in the way?
Yeah, are you guys really professional at work?
Yeah, like we make it work, right? Like our work is different yet the same, and we have so many intertwining elements, you know. So like she's a professional dancer, choreographer, you know, I do music and production. you know, and she's good at running events. I'm good at running events. So there's so many things that we're still finding out, you know.
Yeah, that's been the constant thing of massaging where.
And I think that's a blessing, right? Like to be able to have that with your partner is a blessing, and most people don't get to do it because, you know, sometimes it's easier to just keep it separate. It's like, yeah, this is my relationship, and I work with these people over here, you know. So once you have that, it just takes more work, but it's worth it because it's something that is, you know, not everyone can have.
Yeah,
that's true. It is a blessing, and it
sometimes
is fun.
When we're working together and like he does something to offend me, I'll just like he'll like feel it. He'll feel it when I turn on him, and then I'll just like try and keep my cool the best I can at a distance. Like I get distant when I get offended. Yeah. But that's like kind of and we both kind of work through that awkwardness, and then by the end of the project, you know, it's so fulfilling that you're just like you're in a lighter space. Like you forget all about that moment, you know? Yeah,
it's so true.
I just trust that in that moment that when he has lost sight of the long vision, because that's I complimented you. You were able to overlook my snappiness in the studio because it's like the long vision. It's like we got to get this song done. Like,
I started doing songs with this motherfucker. I'm like, you got to be gentler with me, bro. He's like, let's go. I'm like, this is my first time.
And I have like usually people give you like a 4 count. Like on my Logic, I took that fucking counting off. I'm like, I start on the bar because I do work like insanely fast, and I love doing that. But yeah, it's like when I put those expectations on others, like as an engineer, I'm basically an artist still, not an engineer, which is really funny.
But if I could eliminate the reacting and respond with like, hey, can you just change your tone a little bit because it's not doing anything for my confidence right now, or something that's like totally kind of not non-personal.
And I don't mean to attack. I'm very Tourettesy. It just comes out.
Yeah, bro. I totally understand that. You know, it's like, you know, you gotta be aware that this is someone's like first time, or they're like new artist, and you know. Or it's their first time trying something new, like, you know, because I think acting, you know, is already very similar because you practice lines and you deliver them, you know, with a certain tone and, you know,
intention.
Intention and energy. So it's actually a natural thing for you, but in your head, I don't know why, there's this thing like it's like, oh, I'm singing, you know.
Oh yeah,
until you even get rid of that voice in your head that I'm singing. No, I'm just like delivering this message.
Yeah, it's a flow. Yeah, for sure.
Beautifully said.
And, so it just takes a little bit of time. I would say a couple of hours just behind the mic, and then you get comfortable with your own vibe of singing.
Yeah.
And it's just producer needs to stay patient in that case, you know, and nurture and like find different, you know, things that are, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
You know, do more of this. Take your time, like, you know. And you've been pretty patient with me too sometimes, you know.
Oh, I love it.
You know,
we see the vision, I think, together, and we like flow through it and we get it done. And for me, it's like I'm such a writer that I just want to like move on. You know, like I just want to like write something, like write, like keep like expanding, and that's what makes me good at like the lyrics. But it's like sometimes having a partner to like slow it down and refine and think about like the delivery. I think that's what I've been doing most recently in my music, and I've been finding more voices, like just like deciding to like go at something that got my one way ticket on a soul train. Like I just like use different parts of my voice, like because of this process of slowing it down and thinking, oh, maybe like shift that melody there. But I'm so used to blasting past this, so it is actually good for me or any new producer to like work with people at all levels, because you're always gonna learn something. It's never the inconvenience you think it is in the moment. Oh, hashtag life.
Nice.
Hashtag life.
Yeah. Nice.
Slowing it down is actually so beneficial because you refine your choices. I think that's even back to my compliment of you of like treating your singles like that. So what do you got coming up for the next couple tracks, bro?
I got some bangers, bro. So we're just doing some visuals. I would say in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
First one's gonna drop. Got a couple of upbeat songs, and then I got Forgiveness with Ellevan, and we got Love Me Better that we need you in the video too for.
Yes.
I'm saying it on a podcast.
I remember this.
Elnas is in the video too, so we're gonna do something dope. Nice. So we got a couple of bangers coming out with Ellevan. I got a couple of bangers on my own that are dropping probably first. And then man, this guy's got a song dropping in 2 days. When's your song dropping?
I mean,
she shot
Let's
the video.
finish this one.
Yeah.
No, what did you actually finish?
Well, it's these KiiA covers that we're doing.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we did finish.
Okay, awesome. Nice.
Yeah, When to Become One. You know that Spice Girls song?
No.
When to Become One.
That was a Spice Girls song?
Love like I never needed love before.
Okay.
Gonna make love to you, baby. I had a little love. Now I'm back for more.
Make love to you, baby. Set your spirit free.
It's the only way to
be. And then
that was awesome. You're great. What are you talking about? Right? Bro, don't give her a hard time, man. You better record it every day, you know?
No, actually, I will. I love that. Thank you.
I love your duet, you know? That's awesome. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun.
We did 2 grams, 1 blunt. So we took that song and flipped it into like a weed version of it. 2 grams and 1 blunt. I smoke this one. Like,
where can the people find you, KiiA?
KiiA. KiiA Music on YouTube, on Spotify. You know, you can find me under KiiA, KiiA. And Instagram, KiiA Music Official. Yeah. That's where I'm at. It's the official page. And can't wait for our new song to drop.
Yeah, bro. Me too,
very
man.
soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have
we got some bangers.
Yeah, fucking so good to see you, bro. I so
Great
appreciate
to see
you, man.
Yeah, we need oneness right now.
Started out mad at each other, trying to put the blame on one another, forgetting that we're sisters and brothers, forced to live life undercover. All I know, it's time for us to align and grow. I decided I will find my hope, share it with the world and watch us glow. Whoa. Step by step, an assignment. I'ma live my life in alignment. Cherish the air that I breathe, and I'll open doors without keys. I'm about to break my silence, live my life like I decided. So I'm digging deep inside me. So I'm digging deep inside me. I realize that I'm so lucky. Send praise to those above me. Thank God for the life I got me. I'm still breathing. All we need is oneness, oneness, yeah. Oneness, oneness, yeah, yeah. Oneness, 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 yeah, yeah.
And you probably forgot that we were all interlocked before we dropped in this rock, only to convince ourselves that we are not God. And you'd be shocked if you realize the power of your thoughts. I'm not talking about the hot chick that gives you sloppy top. Oh no, not at all. It went from I'm just chilling in the place to I don't wanna go outside, to I don't wanna see your face. What's happened to the human race? This shit feels like it's a race. I hope that it can be erased, but things will never be the same. And beside me, I might find myself more mighty than I've ever been, because finally I'm looking inside me instead of outside to see these people, but you're really just a reflection of me. And it's getting ugly, so fuck these images and media feeds in front of it. Don't believe it, they just want you to get scared and run a bit. I am like David Duchovny, not just because I raised my gun a bit, but when fear shows up, I will not run from it. Fuck that shit.